Everyone, this is Rabdi's Blog Animation Bliss, and welcome to another Disney Corner. So today's Disney animation I'll be talking about today is Finding Nemo. Now, before I get into my thoughts about this movie, I would like to remind everyone that new videos will be posted up every Sunday. It could be Sunday night, Sunday evening, or Sunday morning, depending on when I can get the videos posted up. And if you happen to see a video posted up during the week, that must mean that there was a bit of anime news that was released during the week that we wanted to cover. So those would be considered special videos. But new videos will be posted up every Sunday. So now let's get into this review of Finding Nemo. So Finding Nemo was a Pixar movie that was made in 2003, and basically what this movie is about, it starts off with Marlin and his wife Coral enjoying their quiet time together and looking over their 400 kids, and then suddenly this big barracuda comes in and ends up eating Cora and all the rest of Marlin's kids, and the only kid who ends up surviving from the barracuda attack is Nemo. And because of that incident that happened years ago, when Nemo gets older, Marlin becomes more overprotective over Nemo because he doesn't want to lose Nemo like he lost his wife, Cora, and his other kids. And because of this, this causes Nemo to resent his father Marlin, and he ends up going out to the ocean against his father's wishes, and that's when Nemo ends up getting captured by a scuba diver. And when Marlin finds this out, he ends up going out to the ocean trying to find Nemo. And along the way, he meets up with this fish named Dory, and it turns out Dory has like a short memory loss. Like there will be times where she can't remember a lot of things, and she'll remember certain things, but then she forget about it a few minutes later. Excuse me. And they journey together throughout the ocean to find Nemo. And meanwhile, Nemo ends up in the dentist's office in the fish tank, and he tries to find his way back home to the ocean while his father Marlin's like out looking for him. And that's the gist of the movie so far without me spoiling anything. But what are my thoughts about this movie? I love Finding Nemo. Like when it first came out in 2003, I was like really hyped up about this movie because it was such a cute film, but it was also a very emotional film. Like I like the fact that the film like goes over like the issues that parents might have with being overprotected with their kids, and how it also explores about how a child can become resentful of their parents for doing such things. And I like the relationship shown between Marlin and Nemo, like how Marlin is so overprotective of Nemo because he was because of the incident that happened years ago where excuse me, where his wife Coral and the rest of his kids were like all eaten up by a barracuda, and he doesn't want anything to happen to Nemo. But then Nemo ends up being resentful of Marlin, and he ends up going out to the ocean himself and gets himself captured. So I like how this film tries to show that despite Nemo's disability, because one of his fins is like shorter than the other, so Nemo can't really swim that well, and that's one of the reasons why Marlin's so overprotective of Nemo because of that. I like how despite his disability, Nemo tries to do the best he can to get back home to his father, and I just like the whole journey aspect of this movie. Like I like the fact that Marlin's willing to go out to the ocean to find his son, and be like, I don't want the last thing my son says to me to be "I hate you, Dad," because just because I was being overprotective of my son. And so I like how Marlin tries to go out of his way to save Nemo, and despite him being afraid for himself also, but he's like, that's my son. I gotta get my son back no matter what happens to me. So I like that aspect of the film. And I also like Marlin and Dory's relationship with each other. Like I like the fact that Dory is like the one who's like telling Marlin, you gotta learn to relax a bit. You can't be afraid of everything in the world. Like even though she forgets a lot of things, she's like so happy. She's such a happy person, and she's like, I'm not gonna let anything bad happen. I'm not gonna be like so depressed all the time. And I'm just glad to have a friend like Marlin around, since I don't have a lot of friends. So I like how Dory is like so friendly towards everybody, and I like how she's so optimistic, and I like how she teaches Marlin, to relax and not be so neurotic about everything. And then Marlin's like the one who's like, he's good friends with Dory. He lets Dory know, I could be a good friend to you. You may ignore me at some points, but I'm glad to have you along to help me find my son. So I really like the relationship between Dory and Marlin for that reason. And I also like some of the side characters that Marlin and Dory meet along the way. Like probably my favorite side characters was like Bruce the shark because he was such an interesting character. Like he's with a group of sharks that are like, we're not gonna eat other fish. Fish are friends, not food. I love that line in the movie, and he's basically friendly towards Marlin and Dory, at least until he smells blood. But anyway, I like Bruce's personality throughout the film because you never expect to see a shark who's so friendly, and yet he's still prone to eating fish because he's a shark, he eats fish, he can't help himself. So I think Bruce was a really interesting character in this movie. He brings a lot of intriguing moments in this film. He brought a lot of hilarious moments in this film, and I wish the film used more of Bruce in the film. The use more of Bruce in the scenes. Um and I also like the fish tank gang that helped Nemo, try to become a better person himself. Like Nemo couldn't do a lot for himself because of his shorter fins, but I like how Nemo is able to try to do things for himself despite his disability. And I like how the movie really showcases that it doesn't matter what happens to you or whatever, if you set your mind to it, you could do whatever you want. And this is what happens with Nemo despite his shorter fins. And I like how that movie goes about that kind of theme, that you could do anything you want no matter what kind of problems you go through in life. um but yeah, that's what. Were there any bad things I have to say about Nemo? Not really. I thought this movie was pretty well done overall. I will say maybe there were some slow scenes, but other than that, I think the film was perfect. I really enjoyed this movie. Like it's such a feel good movie. There are some emotional moments in the film or some scary moments in the film, but overall, it's such a really cute film that it knows how to balance emotional it like knows how to balance the sadness and the happiness together, and I like how the film is able to do that. So overall, I highly recommend you check out Finding Nemo. Oh, and one more thing, I love Crush the turtle. I think he was one of the best parts of the film. He's like has a surfer dude accent, but I like how Crush is like, you gotta be near your family and everything. He helps Marlin figure out the importance of family and why Marlin's going after Nemo in the first place. So I like how Crush really like like he really conveys the importance of family towards Marlin, and that's what I love about his character. So overall, I highly recommend you check out Finding Nemo. It's a great film. It's a fun little film, and if you love movies about fish and the ocean life in general, I definitely recommend you watch Finding Nemo, and especially if you love films about family, this is definitely one of the best films you could pick up whenever you can. So that's my review on Finding Nemo, and be sure to follow us on Twitter so we keep you updated on any new videos we post up, and also like our Facebook page. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Ravity's blog, Animation Bliss, and I'll see you later.